Hello, and a glorious morning to you. I hope you're having an absolutely awesome Onpassive day. Welcome to this series about leadership traits. It is about the traits of leadership as I see them, concerned primarily with Mr. Ash Mufareh and Onpassive, but these traits are also applicable to leaders in that they're needed to maximize our own successes as entrepreneurs, as well as helping us to obtain personal sustainability. Now, this is the fifth video in the series, and its trait is called empowering others. And empowering others means fostering an environment of inclusivity and such, where individuals have autonomy, resources, and support to be able to take ownership of their own work, right? Make their own decisions and grow professionally at their rate. And in an AI IT company like Onpassive, and certainly with leaders like Mr. Mufareh, empowering others can manifest itself in various ways. The first way, I think, is through autonomy. We called this ownership in a previous, well, it's not really the same thing, but it's close, in a previous video. And this is where we are encouraging team members to take charge of projects and make decisions and be accountable for the outcomes of those things they're working with. And this means leaders allow others the freedom to make those decisions, to make those choices and judgments without needing approval from anybody else. And we only need to look at how many people are responsible for running their own platforms and doing their own thing within Onpassive to see this empowerment in action. And in this way, we see autonomy has with it an element of accountability that is a sub-trait in a sense. And it's in this capacity that folks operate under self-direction for responsibly managing their own work, priorities, and schedule, which is obviously done independently with minimal supervision. And this means that we can easily say empowerment isn't just a license, so to speak, to haphazardly do what we want to do, because it also makes us responsible for our own actions, our decisions, and the outcomes of all of that. Now, we also have another element of empowerment that we call mentorship, or providing guidance to people, training, mentoring them, to help team members develop new skills, expertises, things like that. This also shows up in several ways, in that leaders can share their knowledge and expertise while providing some valuable insights and experience to help other people grow through them, through what they've experienced. That's what we call the mentoring, and that's what it's all about, helping others develop skills and abilities. And the guidance of this nature helps us to build up the capabilities and the confidence in others through helping them to identify their strengths, weaknesses, and even set up our realistic goals, as we're moving forward. And all of these things encourage an element of self-discovery and self-reflection, if you will, where we look inward for development. And these things can also lead to a very personal and profound growth. Now, as a result of Mr. Mufareh's empowerment, something to think about is how many members of Onpassive have actually grown to become the leaders we see today, right? And then they've mentioned and gone out in other arenas to mentor others to become independent, enable them to take ownership, and now they're making decisions on their own platforms and following their passions and things like that. What's more, Ash and other mentors, often support that individual journey for others, while the others are actually navigating the obstacles, developing their own journey in a sense, and even celebrating successes as they appear, acknowledging the failures and overcoming them and moving around them. It's all a process, right? It's a process. It's cyclical in nature, and it encourages at every step of the way a self-assessment and personal growth outlook, if you will. And as we develop our own leadership skills that allow us to lead and empower others, we perpetuate that cycle and that that growth. As a reality check of sorts, I guess, Ash said, of course, I can't remember exactly when it was, and I am paraphrasing, but he said, in essence, that a true measure of our success as a leader is finding, how many others have we empowered into independence, meaning how many people have we empowered that are now doing their own thing and empowering others independently from us, right? And that's not really that's a pretty good measurement tool. So another thing that we look at within empowerment is our ability to provide resources, and through empowering others in this way, it's also about ensuring access to tools that they may need, or technology and training and that sort of thing. This helps to open ideas for exploring new ideas and new approaches to our own growth and our new journeys, and the components of those journeys about how we might twist and weave and become more and better at what we do and become better versions of ourselves. Now, Mr. Mufareh, you talk about resources. I mean, the man has provided these to us, the membership, at least, in spades, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we've had the back office, our ecosystem, and all the products on that for the better part of 6 years, for a little more than what the cost of our time and attention, basically. I mean, dang, we've even had the personal benefit of Mr. Mufareh's own knowledge, his expertise, and commitment for as many years. And along, with everything else, that's only increased in value as we move forward. Anyway, another thing that helps empowerment is recognition, getting feedback as well. And that's because these two things kind of in tandem help to strengthen our underlying beliefs about what we can do or what we believe we can do. I mean, how many times have we seen Ash acknowledge and reward performance milestones, or throw kudos and warm fuzzies out to folks that he's noticed doing good things? And all of these things are part of imparting empowerment. Ooh, say that 5 times, right? And they help to widen our mindset towards that end. And we also encourage others to be collaboratively minded. Ash certainly is. We've talked about how he empowers through cross-functional teams before, and has collaboration across departments, so team members learn from each other, right? There's some synchronicity in there. And he does the same thing with the member base, between platforms, between peoples, and between groups. And there are other things that could fit neatly into the idea of empowerment, like fostering adaptability or maintaining a certain level of flexibility, if you will, in response to changes in our environment, project needs, priorities, things like that. Now, like most good leaders, Ash does all of this as a matter of course, because at the core, that's who he is. He's been doing it for a long time. I mean, shoot, way back in 2019, he created what was called the Leadership Council to provide opportunities to members so they could develop leadership skills and take on new challenges and grow. And we've seen that. I mean, that went gangbusters. I mean, we ended up with several dozen people in that. We've since outgrown it, but it all points to Ash's love for empowering others and watching them and helping them to grow into who they're going to be and develop who they are as people. I think Ash knows that one of the greatest ways to ensure success, on a grand scale at least, is to empower others to create it for themselves. Success. What do we say about Onpassive? We're going to guarantee you, we're going to ensure your success. And I would encourage all of you to do the same thing. Go out, find somebody that might be just a little bit stuck, help them get unstuck, and empower their journey with the benefit of your heart and your expertise, right? So that's it for this one. I hope it was useful for you. I hope that it helps you to think about things that you can do to widen or expand your own understanding and your own experiential development. The next video is going to be talking about philanthropic efforts, charitable things people do as another trait in leadership. I thank you for watching this. I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share it. And I hope that you have an absolutely awesome awesome Onpassive day. Thank you so much.